what's a pre-pack administration? A pre-pack administration is when a company is going to go into administration because ideally the business is capable of surviving because it's got a profitable core business. The aim of administration is ultimately the survival of the company. That's the broad aim. Now, what can happen, of course, is if a company goes into liquidation, that potentially can destroy or it can seriously damage certain aspects of the business. So, particularly where a business needs to keep trading and it can't stop trading, otherwise it starts losing customer goodwill and having all sorts of problems associated with bank accounts being frozen and so on. Now, the issue then is it's not unknown for directors to approach an insolvency practitioner with the aim of putting the company into administration, instructing a valuer, professional valuer, to value the business as a going concern, for instance, and for the whole aspect of the sale of the business to whoever it's going to go, which commonly will be to an entity under control of the directors, for example, or a connected party in some way, but for the whole matter to be pre-packaged before the company goes into administration. So the valuation gets done before, the instruction of solicitors to deal with the sale transfer all gets done before. Now, of course, this is relevant when the company is insolvent and needs to go into an insolvency procedure, but is coming under pressure from creditors to make payments. And administration effectively gives some breathing space with a process known as the moratorium, which freezes the creditors against taking enforcement action. Now, this procedure can get a little bit of adverse publicity because some people think about it along the lines of, well, the directors are dropping the debt and starting again. And so there is safeguards in place now in relation to how a prepackaged administration can be undertaken. But the general principle behind it is that because ultimately once the business is insolvent, the best deal is for the creditors, in many instances, for it to be sold as a profitable core business back to those who understand the value of the business best, which is commonly the existing management. Now, that's not to say that there cannot be issues associated with prepackaged administrations, and indeed that's why it has as a procedure, it's obtained some negative publicity. But ultimately, it's important to remember that it's not the pre-pack that is the issue, because whatever the pre-pack is and how it's done, that does not enable the directors to escape any misconduct, which is an entirely separate issue. Questions, queries, concerned, give us a shout. Winner Insolvency Inside Out.